My name's Ben, I'm a fisherman and I live in Arbroath in Scotland, up on the east coast of Scotland. I actually started training to make my job easier. It wasn't for some big goal or anything, it was actually for work. It was to make work easier. And then from that just sort of got into other stuff, got into the running a bit more and just enjoyed lifting and that. Just get the good endorphins going. So a usual day for me would be 4 o'clock alarm in the morning, 4 o'clock AM alarm, up, breakfast, then come down to the boat, out to sea, normally get in maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, back home, more food, then normally try and get to the gym early evening, then just collapse in the chair at night because I'm normally knackered. I've tried to take on a few challenges before, sort of like half marathons and stuff like that, but never made anything of them. Never got the balance right between work and training and trying to train for the half, but having too much on at work. Then just sort of timing worked out really well. Signed up for the Omnia Backyard Ultra, came around at the right time of year, trained for it, and yeah, achieved what I wanted to achieve with the Backyard Ultra. And that really opened my eyes to what I could do, because that was a long way further than I'd ever run before, and it just sort of, yeah, it just gives you a wee bit of belief if you're managing to push yourself that wee bit more than you believe is possible. And it just opened up my eyes, so now that, yeah, want to bigger and better things. So the furthest I had ran before the Backyard Ultra would have been around about 20 miles. Then for the Backyard Ultra, I did 10 loops, and so that works out like 42 miles. So it was like, I went twice as far as I'd ever run before, and it just opened it up to, just sort of broke the ceiling off of what I felt I could do. It really sort of, yeah, just gives you so much belief. You're like, I've just gone twice as far as I've ever gone before, and I was absolutely destroyed at the end of it, but I still managed to get it done, and it just, yeah, then you just wonder what's next. You wonder, like, you just feel there's more potential. One of the reasons I chose to go down to London to do the in-person Backyard Ultra was purely because I knew if I was just on my own, I probably wouldn't have even done it. But like, if you're there and everyone else is there and everyone else has got big lofty goals and they're all going after it, I just didn't want to let myself down. Like, there's that bit. Well, I suppose it's maybe just an ego thing, I don't know. If you went down there and I was like, well, I've committed to it, I've come all this way. I don't know, it just gives you that extra push just to go a wee bit further. If you're around other people that are doing it and that, and just being in person, everyone's there sort of encouraging each other to keep going for another lap. And yeah, it was good. I'm really glad I went down and did it in person, because I would not have got all 10 if I did it on my own. For goals going forward in the future, I've literally just signed up to do the High Rocks. That'll be my first High Rocks, so that'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to giving that a go. Pairs as well, so that'll be good. I'll get to do it with a friend. Then further into next year, it would be, I'm looking to do a sort of local-ish ultra marathon, which would sort of be my local ultra marathon sort of thing. It's in the hills, not too much elevation, but a bit of elevation. Trails as well, which is, I prefer doing trail running as well. Being a bit more in nature is definitely appeals to me a bit more. So that's the big goal for next year, and then just hopefully fill in the calendar after that. Maybe there's an ultra that takes place on the Isle of Arran on the west coast of Scotland, and it normally falls in just about my birthday. So I might try and have a go at that for my 30th, which would be not this year coming, but the year after. So I might try that for my 30th. That'd be a cool way to celebrate that. That'd be, but that's a bit more training for that one. Yeah, I think for training, I get a lot more out, especially in the running. If I can get out, the hills aren't too far away from me. We always make excuses, but they're only really an hour's drive, and I can get to a good trail, and that's definitely something I want to explore more. I don't know why, I don't know if it's because I spend so much time at sea. Like, the hills and the mountains are really calling me to do more there. So I definitely want to do more stuff, sort of on trails and that going forward. I think I train strength and endurance mainly because endurance kind of comes easy to me. I think because I'm always active at work all the time, and that you have to be a bit resilient to be a fisherman. There's definitely a lot of mornings when I don't want to get up when it's pouring a rain and you don't want to go outside and go to work. So I've already kind of got a wee bit of that in me, and I actually find the strength training harder because I think it's just, I don't know, it's different. It's a different way of training when you're looking for strength. And I think because I'm so active, I find it hard to keep my strength. So, but it's a good challenge. It's a good challenge. Probably one of my favourite moments in training would have actually been this year. And there's a single Munro. It's the most easterly Munro in Scotland, and it's Mount Keen. And I was like, I don't know why the notion took it to me, but it was a lovely day, and the sun was setting. I was like, I'm just going to go for a trail run. I'm going to run as much of it as I possibly can. And I run a good chunk of the way up it, and I was moving well, and just like, you know what, like when it just feels good. You just feel the body felt fresh. And there was just a moment when I got to the top and I was sitting and the sun was going down behind a cloud, and I realised that like 3 years ago I'd have never been able to do that. I don't know, if you're training all the time, you never really feel the progress building up. But there was just that moment when I did it and I got to the top, I was like, wow, 3 years ago I just wouldn't have been able to do that. And then, I don't know, it was just a nice moment of realisation, I suppose. And it was just, yeah, that's probably been one of my favourite moments. I was just like, oh, I can do that. Just being capable to be able to do stuff like that, it's just good. I just think and that's why you train, to be able to just, if something comes along, you're able to do it. Yeah, I think one of the best things about working with Omnia was, I've tried a few different training programs, a few different sort of companies, and well, a few different businesses sort of similar doing training programs to Omnia, but the best one with Omnia was I felt it had a good balance where there was, it's tough enough, it's definitely tough enough, but there wasn't too much. I think you hear Ferguson that speak about junk volume, and it's like, I think their training programs are really good. I think they've got the mix just right between there being enough training to get the stimulus and the growth that I need, but not too much. It's overwhelming and you end up having to give up because you've overworked in the first 3 weeks and you're knackered. So I think the best thing about Omnia is just, I think they get the balance of their training programs just about right, or as near as you can when you're trying to do it for the masses.